know what's better than doing this? Doing this. What is going on, guys? It is Venom Surge here, and welcome back to the VENOM Syndicate server. In between episodes, as you guys saw, I went to the end, and we got ourselves an elytra. Time for some big changes. The first thing we're going to do with this power is check out the mob farm that I had built before we started this series. You guys remember this build? We're not going to work on it anytime soon. I want to finish our base that we're on right now, but at some point I would like to keep working on this. But if we go on over here, I have a mob farm I built. Now I believe this was a farm built by Silent Whisperer. I was not going to use this until I got an elytra, because obviously it's a very powerful farm, but as you can see, it uses scaffolding. The mobs will spawn on these scaffolding blocks, and there's water right at this level, so they get pushed off. They all fall down here, and then there's a trident killer in there. That was just the mob farm design, and it actually uses leaves, which considers it a overland spawner, so the top floor only gets a lot faster spawn rates. I added in this auto sorter here, and I have been AFKing just a bit, so we got quite a bit of general resources that are going to help us a lot through all this time. Got a lot of bows, so we can actually start making a bow here soon, and we do get the occasional witch as well, and some raids. We have an enchanting setup here. I was also smart and put an automatic sugarcane farm over here, because I'm farming gunpowder. Let's farm up some paper. So as we come up here, the XP is sent up through here, and then I have actually down here, I have set up some minecart hoppers that grab the items, and then we puts them into 4 droppers, which throw them out over there and then goes through my item sorter. But if we come back up here, we turn on the farm, this turns on the trident killers. So as we sit here, looting does work with this. We're going to start getting XP. Now the nice thing is I can use our hole in the roof to actually fly into our base, but having an elytra is going to help so much. And then now we can go around and look for that crying obsidian. Now I also ended up getting a lot of loot while I was in there. As you can see, I picked up all the ender chests possible just in case we break them. But we have tons of loot here. Look at all these diamonds, all this diamond gear. So sadly, like, this is a great pickaxe if it didn't have the vanishing thing, but I still need a diamond helmet, which we can make there. And these diamond boots I got, we already saw, but we also got diamond legs that I was using because my iron legs almost broke. They're right here. And this was my good iron helmet that is almost broken. We also got one other elytra. I actually ended up going to 5 end cities. 3 of them had a ship that was already looted, but for some reason the shulkers weren't there. So I showed up, saw all the shulkers and all the loot, expecting like, oh, there's going to be an elytra, like getting all excited. We get to the boat and there was nothing. So somebody just flew in, grabbed the elytra, and took off with it. So we have a backup elytra, and I will probably go end busting again sometime in the future, so that way we can get extra gear. But I am now going to go farm some of that crying obsidian and going to go get more resources for our build, including a lot of sand. And now that we have shulkers, I actually ended up getting a stack and a half pretty much. Actually no, we got 2 stacks and a half of shulker shells, so we will have tons of shulkers for gathering resources. Now we just need to make those enchants. Alright guys, so I got some diamond legs, I'm not sure, I don't remember what you guys have already seen. I know we've already seen the boots, but I've been trading with some piglins, so I actually got soul speed 3 now on these. We don't have unbreaking on the leggings, but we do have mending, so I don't really care about that. All we need for the helmet is aqua affinity and unbreaking. I did get a diamond axe, and it is pretty much where I want it. I might put like smite on it or something. I don't know yet. I don't have anything on the shovel. That's what I've been working on recently. But we got a fully maxed out bow, basilisk stare. That is very exciting. And then these two have not changed from what you guys last saw. I have been trying to get a diamond silk touch pickaxe, but I have had no luck so far. So guys, since the sheeps have not been despawning, I have now turned this into an automatic wool farm. So now I don't need to keep coming here, and then we can start working on getting netherite. I have also went around and harvested quite a bit of crying obsidian and normal obsidian. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. I'm probably gonna need more, but it's a good start. So now it is time to make the biome. And it all begins with a meteor shower. Okay guys, so this is the meteor. Now this is just going to be one here, but there's going to be tons everywhere. And this is the origin of the corruption. As we can see here, it came crashing down, and I might add in like smoke trails or something, but it came crashing down, collided with the mountain, and slid down, burning everything along its path. But as it tumbled, it left a couple blocks behind, exposing its core, and what's inside is the dragon egg. So this is where the corruption will stem from. So I'm going to be having giant cracks across the earth that slowly take over this land. It is going to be a bit hard to show you guys this, so you guys will just have to see when I'm finished. So guys, it has been a couple of weeks actually since the last clip. I was going to show you once I'm completely finished, however, it has been taking a freaking long time because I do not have a beacon. Part of this process is mining out a giant area underground to do the cool glass layering effect. I did finally get a maxed out shovel besides efficiency 5, and then I finally got my silky touches pickaxe, so we are good to go with that. Now, this build's using clay, and I was playing on a different screen, and the screen is much more saturated than the screen I'm using right now. It's like oversaturated, and the clay was really blue. So it did not look good on that screen. So for those of you who have extremely saturated screens, this fade effect won't look as good, but hopefully, since it's based off of my recording, hopefully it'll be a bit less saturated so that way you guys can see what I'm seeing. But here's what I've done. This is the corruption, and it all stems from there. That Enderman just popped up there. So as you guys saw, the Ender Dragon egg is the core of it. I might change that. I've been thinking about the story of how this is occurring, and I can't wait to show you guys what's going on. But the corruption stems from this. Now this is a type of corruption that slowly eats the world. Now I'm not entirely sure about this dirt here because it looks like the meteor had crashed and made a mound here, but why didn't the corruption eat that? I don't know. But basically the corruption slowly eats the ground and vegetation, and it turns into this. This is going to be a large majority of this. This is kind of it killing the ground. Now my plan is to put glow lichen on the very edge, so it looks like the grass is kind of still fighting back. But as you can see, as it gets closer and closer to the darkness, it's going to be having giant purple faded effect. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you stack a glass every other block, if you keep doing this layering effect, as you can kind of see here, it starts to fade away, so the ground underneath of there isn't as visible. If you do it enough, it's just a purple fade. But to do that, I had to mine out all of this area and put in this concrete. And over here, I need to do even more mining. So I'm going to get a beacon. Now, I haven't started farming wither skulls yet, but that is something we will be doing. Now, as an aerial view, this is kind of what we're looking like. Let's get even higher up. So you can see it kind of splinters off, but there's this main trail up here that goes into the mountain. Now, it did get a little too close to my mine shaft, but I already know what I'll do with this. You guys can see what fights the corruption. There's only one true enemy of the corruption. But the story behind all this is, as it comes through here, I'm going to have it crawl up the mountain and go into here. And I might patch up this hole, but basically you'll see a slight corruption path going down and then spiking down here. And that's where our portal will be. Sounds like we have friends. So it'll kind of spike all the way around here and then go into the ground, and that's how we'll have our portal. So it's as if the corruption created the portal. But this won't be the only corruption. I'm planning on having the 5 elements. Now, most people say there's 4. You got water, which will be here, where this giant lake is right next to the base. Earth, we will be putting right here, and it already has a nice big crater, so I'll have this as the earth meteor right there. Fire, I'll have crashed through the ground and smash into this mountainside, having a giant burnt path, and then lava cracks going everywhere across the mountainside. And then air, which is going to be up in the sky here. I don't entirely know how I'm going to do the air just yet, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm going to do one at a time. But then we also have the corruption. The corruption to me is more like the anti-life type of thing. So you have the 4 main elements that we'll have, but then you have corruption and the opposite of corruption, which would be life. And life is the only thing that can fight off all of these things. There is only one block that really resembles life to me, and this is the moss. We are going to have giant moss patches across here, and that's how we'll have our actual pathway, because this biome's not done yet. This is the general look, and it looks awesome. I'm really excited for all this, but once we get this purple fade effect, we'll also have smoke and fire everywhere in here. But the moss will have a effect where it stops the corruption from spreading, or at least stops it from going past it. So we'll layer the outside of our base here with moss. And on the inside of our base here, I have not done anything yet still, but in this room here where we're currently working will be the tree of life. And that is how the people who were living here found out how to stop the corruption. That is also what we will do with our mine here. There's already leaves and stuff here. I'm going to put more moss on the ground here and up above it, so that's why the corruption didn't take it over. Now, currently I've not been working on the crack here because, like I said, I want to get that beacon, but I also want to get the iron farm going. I do not have any villagers still, and I am still not fully enchanted. Like, I did get Aqua Affinity on this finally. I'm really just missing Unbreaking, but we still have, like, this isn't Efficiency 5, this isn't Sharpness 5. Still need Efficiency 5 here and here, so I mean there's a lot that we need to do, but I want to get those villagers going, and we already have a villager farm. I've already been breeding up them, as you saw earlier. So we can definitely start doing that. But I feel like first we should get a beacon going, just that way I can mine these much easier. But I also want to get netherite. There's a lot of upgrades we still need to do, and if I got netherite, especially for my pickaxe, it would be so much better. Now that it's getting dark, I'm gonna take a look at this, our base here during the dark. Now the crying obsidian does produce light, and I want to get rid of the torches. The main light sources will be fire and glow lichen that is occasionally spread out through this place. Now, since there's not many purple blocks and dead looking blocks for plant life, I won't have many plants in this area, but the fire, earth, water, still don't know about the air yet, but those three elements I'll definitely be able to make some sort of handmade unique plant. This is what we are looking like right now. I might spread out. I feel like it's too quick of a transition in here. I might spread these 2 blocks a couple more outwards, like a couple more layers, so that way it's not only one of each type and then all clay. But I'm really happy with how it looks. Like I said, if it's very saturated for you guys, this is going to be blue and it will not look as good. And I tried out different combinations of blocks, and for me, clay looks the best on my screen. I'm going to start working on getting those wither skeleton skulls, and then we will fight the wither. Okay, now that we're here, hopefully we won't run into any ghasts. Blazes are going to be annoying though. I was really hoping we can get more wither skeletons spawning, but I guess not. Much more dangerous with no cover out here. Guess we'll go further into here and just travel around. Guess we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and explore the main area, since this apparently is not really working well for us. Too many enemies in this one little area. I do not want to hit those piglins. This tactic for luring in the blazes is working very well, especially if you want to avoid hitting those douchers. Alright guys, I'll just meet back with you guys once we get enough. We're still not lucky yet. Okay guys, so I've been setting up these, I don't know what you would call them, but like you got the protective barrier for the wither skeletons, but then you got a 1 block tall thing to lure the blazes over into hitting range. That way they don't kill you while doing it. But as you can see down on my hotbar, we have 3 wither skulls. I just set myself on fire by walking into that. That was great. Yeah, so now we can do the wither, and I want to try out what I saw on Hermitcraft. They were testing out iron golems against the wither, and the iron golems like absolutely shredded up the wither, and that would be a lot easier if they could do that instead of me. Thankfully we also have mending, so my armor hasn't taken as much of a beating as it could have. Alright, let's just get out of here. This place is a death wish. Okay, so we got quite a bit of iron, so hopefully we can do like 4 iron golems. And the nice thing is, once we get the iron farm set up, it won't really matter. Got 1 pumpkin. I might need to visit my dad's base to get more pumpkins. Alright, so let's go get some pumpkins. I think we need shears as well. Alright, so we're over at my dad's base, and looks like he's trying to oxidize some stuff here. There's his pumpkins. If we need, we'll help out the iron golems, but I want to see like if they can shred it up. Now we don't even have many resources to make a beacon in the first place, so we're probably going to need to use emeralds instead, so I'm going to need to do a lot of trading. Go down one of my tunnels here, and I'm doing this without milk buckets because that's always the smartest idea. Alright, so that is 4 iron golems. Here we go. This is terrifying. Explosion. Get the iron golems in. Go get him. Look at that. There's only one in there so far. Oh, you guys are fighting over each other. Go at him. Shred him up. Eat him. Okay, now he's in melee only. Not the lava. Okay. They did it. Ah. We did it. Nice and easy. I also forgot how much resources you can get from the wither. If it exposed any. Yeah. Ooh. Well, that is how you do it. So yeah, iron golems are freaking powerful. Didn't even need a milk bucket either. Yeah, that was awesome. So now we have a nether star. Now we can actually mine quick and get resources much quicker. Alright guys, so I have been doing some off-camera mining, and we have 46 debris, which means we can do 11 items with 2 to spare. And by my count, I think we only have 10 things right now, and that's including like double picks, double shovels, my breastplate that I don't use, so that's awesome. But then we also got all this nether quartz that I am going to use to make the iron farm. As you already saw, we have the beacon now, so I'm going to start making the iron farm, which is going to have a villager trader hall built in. So guys, it has been quite a while since the last clip. I have now gotten, as you saw, full netherite, kind of fully enchanted. I got aqua affinity on that finally. We do have sharpness 5 on this. We got efficiency 4 on this and on our silky touches. Still efficiency 4 on our python's grip. We got the maxed out basilisks there. So we are looking pretty good. I have been sick for a little while. I'm still recovering a bit, but I am able to actually talk now. So it has been a very long time since I last upgraded the netherite, so there has been a lot of changes. I think it's safe to say at this point that the mob despawning issue is no longer a thing, so we still have all these guys. I've not needed these cows for a long time, so I might just kill them off at some point once we have an actual food source. This thing's been full of eggs for the longest time, so I don't really need those chickens. We got plenty of wool incoming here. I just threw in 1 shear per dispenser, so that filled up quite nicely. So I have been using the beacon, and not a lot has changed on the base itself, except for out here. I have done half of this glass stuff. You guys saw the hole I was digging. I already beaconed out a lot of this, so this is the type of effect we'll be getting across the entire board. It is a really cool effect here. I've got it all the way over here as well, and then it stops right about here where I've been last working on it. As you can see, it is a very big open areas, and I have been putting glow lichen on the very bottom. You cannot see the glow lichen, but that'll keep it lit up, and then I have torches underneath these carpets here. But I am doing, I think it's about 7 layers or 6 layers deep for the glass, and I'm doing every 2 blocks. I'm going inwards with the glass on this outer edge. But yeah, so this is kind of where I've been at so far. I'm about halfway across the crack, so I'll get this aerial view here. So we got it kind of going across here. We stop there. We still have all of this extra room to go through, but it is looking nice. Now I have done the iron farm. I've been having issues with him spawning here. I think these fences are allowing him to spawn or something. I'm not entirely sure how he's spawning here, but this is the second time I've had him here. For the most part, they've been spawning on the inside, but occasionally I'll need to kill him off. But I have this little setup here, so when it's nighttime I can sleep, because this does not work in the nighttime, I believe, since it's based on when the villagers interact with their stations. But this is a actual working trading hall and an iron farm built in. Now, this is not zombified yet, because we constantly swap back and forth between difficulties. I don't want to put a zombie in here, since he could end up getting despawned if my dad puts it on peaceful. But we do have like sharpness and mending and breaking and everything, so we need a lot of emeralds, which I am thinking I'm going to be making a raid farm at some point. But I have been AFKing for a while. This is actually not all we got. We actually have enough that I ended up putting out 2 different beacon sources. I only have 1 beacon, but I have enough iron, I was able to do that. That's about 6 stacks of iron blocks, so this thing's working quite nicely. But I figured while I'm here, I've been working on making the... That's a weird glitch, I'm inside the block here. So I've been working on designing the temple, and in it I have been doing some redstone, and I need honey and slime blocks. So I figured while I'm AFKing here, let's make some more AFKing farms here. So I went ahead and made a bee farm. So this isn't a design that I looked up, I just know how to make these types of farms. You can find tons of these types of farms on YouTube. So over here in this place, I have a bee breeder. So I just have these bees on here. There's easier ways to do it, but I was lazy, so I just did this. I basically would breed them up. These cobblestones would be hives. The baby bees will come over here, get their pollen, they'll go in, and then they get trapped. Then I'd take the hives and bring them over here. So basically we have 5 hives per section here, and I'm gonna add another one right here in the future. But those are dispensers facing downwards. And so in here, you can kind of see there's comparators that are facing towards the hive. As they get up to here, they'll activate the dispenser, and I have 4 dispensers doing bottles, 1 doing shears, and then same over here. So I've done some slight AFKing, and this is kind of what we're looking at so far. So it's slowly going, but it is on the side. But I figured since I'm doing that, I also need to get slime. Let's kill this guy off. I didn't want to make a farm here because I'd have to dig through the entire mountain, so I went over here and there's a slime chunk that I have already dug out. This is going to be a farm design based on Silent Whisper's farm design, although I actually ended up digging a little too deep, but I think I'm going to optimize it a bit. Silent Whisper had just normal slabs, and he was talking about the water scaffolding trick and how it barely affects, and then the soul campfires versus normal campfires. I am going to optimize it to have those things, but as you can see here, there's a geode there, and I actually have another geode over here. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm not going to make these auto farms just yet. Once the allays come out in a couple of days, I'm going to try to make a farm like that, but I'll have 2 geodes that will be growing while I have the slime farm. But yeah, so this is already dug out, and so because of this, I have ended up getting a ton of resources. These are all full except for this one. And we got 2 over here, got a ton of cobblestone and dirt, gravel, diorite, granite, everything. And then over here, I also have been getting tons of deep slate. The temple I've designed is going to be using tons of deep slate, so I need to get as much as I can. This was a little late. I wasn't exactly on the 22nd, but it was the day after. So this is what we are looking like. We had the first thing where we just got here. This is the more zoomed in one where we started clearing out the area and we didn't have the front door pathway yet. And over here you can see we have the crack about halfway done. You can kind of see the pathway. We got the iron farm up there and the 2 bee farms. I am probably going to add somewhere up there a kelp farm, because the blaze farm, while it is giving tons of blaze rods, I am burning through the blaze rods like crazy, and it takes a long time to farm that, and it'd be so much easier if I just had an AFK farm there. I also would like a sugarcane farm up there, because I've not been getting as much sugarcane compared to my gunpowder. Now, I have been doing tons of gravel and sand mining to get all that concrete for the crack. I still haven't organized our end city loot yet, but I think now that we've gotten all that done, I want to start focusing on making the temple. So over here on this kind of mountain that sticks out is where I'm going to be putting the temple. So this is going to be dug out, and we are going to go all the way into the mountain. If I fly up here, I've actually am going to end up cutting all the way through here. It'll turn right here and then go this way, and then there will be a giant room in all this. So we'll actually be following across the inside of the mountain. So it's going to be crazy big, but it is going to take a very long time to mine it, and we need a lot of deep slate for the walls. So I need to go back to the mines and strip mine, not necessarily for ore, but just to get more deep slate. But with that, guys, I'm probably gonna have to end this episode here. I've been working on a lot of farms, and for the temple we're going to need a lot of resources, and it's going to take quite a bit of time to get that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you guys want to join the VENOM Syndicate and help our community and channel grow. I do tons of other content on this channel, such as Elder Scrolls Online, God of War, Destiny 2. I would like to do another modded Minecraft series at some point, so if there's any mod packs that you guys would like me to try playing and watch me suffer through, just let me know down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.